Nicola, we know what they have done to your lab, to your career. It may be too late to set things right, but you can help prevent something far worse. They have taken an object from the Tsar and are conducting experiments in Tunguska to figure out how to use it. Before they do, we must take it from them, or the world will be in danger. We do not ask you to risk your life, just that, when the time comes, you use your electricity to destroy the object. Regardless of your decision, know that we admire your work greatly and we bear you no ill will. We respect your freedom above all else. Letter to Nikola Tesla, circa 1908. Hello and welcome to Visions of the Past. My name is Andrew, and I'm the host of this Assassin's Creed lore podcast. This is episode 54, and today we're going to take a look at the explosion that has historically become known as the Tunguska Event. At roughly 7:14 a.m. local time on June 30th, 1908, a massive explosion occurred near the Padkamna Tunguska River in the Siberian region of Russia. This explosion flattened an estimated 80 million trees over 830 square miles of forest, and is generally attributed to the airburst, or mid-air explosion, of a stony meteoroid that has been estimated to have been around 330 feet in size. The event is classified as an impact event, though no crater has been found. The object itself is thought to have disintegrated at an altitude of somewhere between 3 to 6 miles, rather than hitting the ground. Because of the remoteness of the site and the limited instrumentation available at the time of the event, modern scientific interpretation of the cause and magnitude have relied largely on damage assessments and geological studies conducted years after the event. These studies have come up with different estimates of the size and speed of the meteoroid. The airburst shock wave has been estimated to have measured at a 5.0 on the Richter scale of earthquake magnitude, and estimates of its energy ranges between 3 and 30 megatons of TNT, making it roughly 1,000 times more powerful than the Fat Man nuclear bomb that was dropped on Nagasaki, Japan at the end of World War II. This event is perfect for the world of Assassin's Creed because of the study of it being done largely years after the event, and with so many different theories of what caused the explosion. Because of these things, we see the event first mentioned in emails within Assassin's Creed, and within the glyphs of Assassin's Creed 2. The event is also detailed within the comic Assassin's Creed The Fall, and mentioned in Assassin's Creed Chronicles, Russia. To talk about the event properly within Assassin's Creed, we first must go back to before the event itself. Sometime before the event, possibly as early as November 1905, Gregory Rasputin replaced the imperial scepter of the Russian royal family with a fake, and moved the artifact to a secret facility where it was experimented on. The Templars in 2012 believed that it was used as part of research into wave generation technology. During this time, Rasputin was a member of the Russian Rite of the Templar Order. Eventually, getting close to the royal family, specifically Tsarina Alexandria, by appearing to heal her son Alexei of his hemophilia. The reason for wanting the imperial scepter was simple. It was a piece of Eden that was known to be able to conjure illusions, control others, and make the user invisible. Eventually, the Russian assassins became aware of the Templars' experimentation of the scepter and contacted Nikola Tesla with an offer of retribution against the Templars for his discreditation by Thomas Edison, a high-ranking member of the American Rite of the Templar Order. The assassins' plans were simple: infiltrate the facility and receive the scepter before Tesla destroyed the facility and everything in it. The ground team was led by Nikolai Orlov, who 20 years earlier fought and lost to Tsar Alexander III after the Borky train disaster. Knowing what the scepter looked and felt like, using it in that hand-to-hand fight with the previous Tsar. Nikolai received a letter dated May 14, 1908, telling him that the assassins believed the scepter was being held in a facility that was replicated from designs that was stolen from Tesla and was being used to conduct electrical testing on the scepter. Arriving to a facility that looked similar to the Wardenclyffe Tower that Tesla built on Long Island, New York, Nikolai knew that they had little time to retrieve the scepter. The team found the scepter receiving electricity from multiple Tesla coils, and as Nikola went to pull it from the electricity, Tesla activated a transmitter in his Wardenclyffe Tower to broadcast an immense burst of electricity into the Russian facility. This burst overloaded the scepter, causing it to explode with enough force to level the forest for miles in every direction. Nikolai was the only survivor of the explosion, seemingly being protected by the scepter itself. While the explosion was considered an assassin victory, they failed to gain possession of the Imperial scepter. While it was believed to be completely destroyed by Nikolai, he received a letter from Vladimir Lenin asking him to assassinate Nicholas II shortly after his abdication of the Russian throne in March 1917. Meeting with Nicholas II inside the Alexander Palace, where the Romanov family was under house arrest, Nikolai told the former Tsar to take him to the Imperial scepter. Holding it in his hand, Nikolai knew that it was a fake and broke it in half. But when Nicholas asked him to spare his family if he was intended to be Nikolai's target, Nikolai responded that he no longer cared about the politics of Russia and that the scepter was his only concern. When describing the real scepter and what it took to destroy it, Nikolai sparked a memory within Nicholas II of a necklace that was worn by Rasputin during his time with the family, and how it affected him and his wife, leading Nikolai to exhume Rasputin's body from his grave and retrieve the shard that was unmistakably part of the Imperial scepter. Nikolai ended up keeping the shard, eventually passing it to his daughter Nadia before she was deported from the United States back to Russia during the Palmer raids of 1919. When it comes to Assassin's Creed, I find myself coming back to the story usually for one of two things: more information on the Isu, or to see how the Assassin-Templar War has affected human history. When it comes to how the war affects human history, the story tends to mix real human history and conspiracy theories, and the Tunguska Event is no different. Teased within the first two games of Assassin's Creed, Tunguska really gets blown open within Assassin's Creed The Fall. And it gets tied directly into two other historic moments of Russia, the Borky train disaster and the abdication of Tsar Nicholas II, centering the story around the Imperial scepter. The scepter itself appears to be modeled after the staff of Alexei Mikhailovich, the Russian Tsar from 1629 to 1676, which Tsar Nicholas took to the 1903 ball in the Winter Palace, a photo of which is seen within Assassin's Creed II's glyphs. But when looking at the story told within The Fall, the Borky train incident comes from a fight between Tsar Alexander III and the assassin Nikolai Orlov, instead of a train that was too heavy, going too fast. Though it was a nice touch to see the story use a part of the incident that says Alexander III held the collapsed roof of the car his family was in while they escaped. While the moment we see after the abdication of Nicholas II is a simple conversation, there isn't anything that goes against what is historically said from around the time period. The biggest change, though, does come from the Tunguska event itself, adding conspiracy theories that the event was something that happened because Nikola Tesla overshot a test of a particle beam weapon from his Wardenclyffe Tower makes for much more interesting of a story than a meteoroid explosion. Add assassins, Templars, and pieces of Eden, and you have a story perfect for the lore of Assassin's Creed. Thank you for listening, for your love of Assassin's Creed, and joining me today. I release new episodes every Tuesday, so be sure to tune in for those. And if you love Visions of the Past podcast, I'd love for you to subscribe, rate, and give a review on Apple Podcasts. If you have any questions about Assassin's Creed or topics that you'd like me to cover, please feel free to hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at visions_AC, and you can find those links in the show notes below. Until next time, my assassin friends, make sure to follow the Creed. And to those Templars listening, may the Father of Understanding guide you.